WCAB News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. At least 7 people were killed in a horrific head-on crash between a semi-truck and a Greyhound passenger bus in northwest New Mexico. Preliminary reports indicate the truck may have blown a tire, then crossed the median before hitting the bus. State Police Officer Ray Wilson.
In cases like this, a barrier would definitely have helped the situation.
Governor Roy Cooper is seeking to persuade a judicial panel a second time to keep questions for 2 proposed amendments to the North Carolina Constitution off the November ballot. Attorneys for the Democratic governor and Republican lawmakers are expected in a Raleigh courtroom today. It's Washington's turn to say goodbye to the late Senator John McCain. The 6th-term Republican senator will lie in state under the U.S. Capitol Rotunda today. CBS's Steve Futterman reports.
This is one of the rarest of honors. John McCain will become only the 31st person to lie in state in the Capitol Rotunda. 4 others have had their bodies lie in honor, including the Reverend Billy Graham and civil rights pioneer Rosa Parks. 3
people were led away in handcuffs last night following a dust-up of dueling demonstrations over Silent Sam at UNC Chapel Hill. Demonstrators from both sides of the issue were present last night. The Silent Sam supporter unfurled a large Confederate flag at last night's event and said,
"I was not here Saturday, but I was appalled by what happened. I mean, why can't the 2 ends just yell at each other and go on? There don't have to be violence. Violence doesn't solve anything."
This weekend marks the unofficial end to tubing and boating season, and it's typically known for being a very busy weekend on the water. Wildlife officials say this has been one of the deadliest years on the water in the past 20 years. First responders in Asheville, like Captain Chris Sidden, are getting prepared.
There's always more people going to be on the water during those holiday events, and the more people on the water, the more potential there is for danger.
You're listening to NCN News.
Hey football fans, the wait is over. The 2018 ACC Football Preview Magazine is out on newsstands right now. Get your football fix before the season kicks off with predictions from the experts, recruiting news, and rankings of the best ACC players and teams. No other magazine dedicates 10 pages to each ACC school, each jam-packed with stats and information. Want a copy shipped to you? Order your copy today by going to accsports.com and clicking on the Football Preview banner.
Will Democrats break Republican supermajorities in the North Carolina General Assembly? Will this year's election change the course of the state Supreme Court? What about all those constitutional amendments on the ballot? Carolina Journal will help you answer those questions. Available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
President Trump canceled pay raises that were due in January for most civilian federal employees. CBS News' Diane King Hall reports.
If the president had not acted, workers would have gotten an automatic 2.1% raise across the board. The president blamed budget constraints and called for pay to be based on performance. The affected workers could still see a slightly smaller pay boost under a proposal Congress is considering.
A large North Carolina school system has effectively blocked school construction in 4 small towns that received authority to create their own charter schools. Charlotte-Mecklenburg School Board policy approved this week appeared as a sharp response to the legislature's action in June to give the powers to Matthews, Mint Hill, Huntersville, and Cornelius. A shooting in the parking lot of Villa Heights Elementary School in northeast Charlotte put the school on lockdown Thursday. WBT reporter Micah Smith was on the scene.
Police tell us around 7:27, a mom was dropping her child off when a man who she used to be in a relationship with followed her into the parking lot, got out of his car, and started shooting into her car.
No one was injured. A college in North Carolina says an aggressive timeline was followed to build several new dorms that state and fire officials say have safety concerns. UNC Asheville's The Woods dorms have drawn warnings from inspectors. It's a little early for holiday shopping, but one big box chain has already gotten its list together for top toy picks.
Trying to hone in on displaced Toys R Us shoppers, Walmart is announcing 40 items expected to be most popular among the younger set. They include hoverboards, Barbie's Dream House, and Paw Patrol fire trucks, with Hatchimals and Fingerlings making an encore. Black Panther action figures inspired by the hit movie are expected to continue their hot seller streak. On September 8th, Walmart is hosting a national play day for kids to try out toys before they fire off lists to Santa. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN.
AM 590 WCAB Rutherfordton with FM translator service on W265DW at 100.9.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Washington gathers this morning to say goodbye to Senator John McCain.
He will be honored, as only a few dozen others have, by lying in state at the U.S. Capitol. Another memorial service in Washington Saturday, then a private family burial at the school that graduated John McCain, the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis.
That's ABC's Andy Field in Washington. The lines are already forming in Detroit for people set to attend the funeral for Aretha Franklin. ABC's Zachary Quiche is there and says this comes after 2 days of public viewing.
Thousands of mourners have come to pay their respects. Some showed up driving pink Cadillacs. Lying in her open casket, wearing red shoes, her ankles crossed, Aretha exudes a mix of comfort and strength.
President Trump's disapproval numbers are at a new high in a brand new ABC News Washington Post poll. Gary Langer runs polling for ABC News.
His approval rating at this specific point in time, 36%, is the lowest on record for any president heading into his first midterm. Next closest was Bill Clinton in the mid-40s, and he lost 54 seats.
The president talking trade and tariffs at an Indiana rally, saying the White House is negotiating a new trade deal with Canada.
And if it doesn't happen, we'll put tariffs on the cars coming in from Canada, and that'll be even better. So.
At least 7 people have died. Dozens more were hurt after a bus and a big rig collided head-on in New Mexico. Firefighter Christopher Jones talked to the tractor-trailer driver right after the accident.
Talking to the driver of the tractor-trailer, I guess his front drive tire popped on him, so it took him through the median into oncoming traffic, which led him right into the Greyhound bus.
They crashed head-on. A former producer at NBC News now says top executives at the network shut down Ronan Farrow's investigation into sex abuse allegations against Harvey Weinstein. Rich McHugh telling the New York Times that Farrow's report eventually was published in The New Yorker. You're listening to ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
Is your computer slowing down?
Yep, I guess I need a new one.
Wait before you waste your money on a new computer. Go to mycleanpc.com and get a free computer diagnosis. In minutes, you can activate MyCleanPC software to clean out the junk that could be putting your privacy at risk. Unwanted pop-ups, errors, or spam not only slow your computer down, they may allow third parties to track your activities. Go to mycleanpc.com for a free computer diagnostic. Increase your computer speed today with mycleanpc.com.
More pressure on the Pope to talk about the reports that he was told years ago about sex abuse allegations against D.C. Cardinal Theodore McCarrick. ABC's Jim Ryan.
Far from hiding from the controversy, Dallas Bishop Edward Burns says that to victims of abuse at the hands of priests,
I offer my words of apology, sorrow, and embarrassment.
And he wants Pope Francis to convene a synod to address the issue, but some who were abused are skeptical.
We don't need another secret meeting in Rome to try to figure this out.
Paul Peterson heads the local chapter of the Survivors Network of Those Abused by Priests, SNAP.
They've already figured out that they can't figure it out.
Meanwhile, Bishop Burns is awaiting a reply from the Vatican. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
An anti-immigrant rally turning loud in eastern Germany.
Hundreds have voiced their anger at politicians as a regional governor visited the city of Chemnitz, where the fatal stabbing of a German citizen has sparked violent clashes. The slaying over the weekend has become a rallying point for far-right groups in the country. An Iraqi and a Syrian have been arrested. Among the 500 or so at this demo, many said they felt abandoned by their political system.
That's ABC's Tom Rivers at the foreign desk. Supercar maker Bugatti has made a new sports car, almost entirely out of Legos. Took about 1 million of the bricks, and yes, it does drive. It can only go about 18 miles an hour, though. This is ABC News.
On Friday, September 7th, Stand Up to Cancer is teaming up for something big. Every network, every star will come together for one night to save lives. You have the chance to join millions in the fight against cancer. You'll want to be there to see the magic that happens when we all come together for a cause. Stand Up to Cancer. Tune in live Friday, September 7th at 8/7 Central on ABC, CBS, Fox, and NBC. We can't do this without you. Check your local listings for cable providers.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Deer season has arrived, and Oakland Feed and Seed has what you need for the season. Buck Jam and Buck Forage Oats, 6-way deer forage mix and 5-way deer forage mix. Check on the winter peas, molasses, 1 gallon and 2.5 gallon. Oakland Feed and Seed carries chicory, deer greens, dried molasses, beet juice, and more. If you're a deer hunter or want to be, go see Oakland Feed and Seed. Also, grass season is coming soon, and you can be ready with 17-17-17 fertilizer and 10-10-10 fertilizer, K31 Fescue, and 5-Star Turf Fescue. Make Oakland Feed and Seed your first stop because they have it all. Oakland Road, Spindale.
With a lingering frontal boundary up in Southern Virginia, we still have the potential for a few showers and thunderstorms later on this afternoon. Otherwise, it's a hot and humid day, partly cloudy with a high in the upper 80s to low 90s. Tonight, a few area high school football games may see a shower or a storm. It's partly cloudy, the low in the low 70s. And then tomorrow, it's still hot, it's still humid. Our highs in the upper 80s to about 90. Along with that, a chance for a few showers and storms popping up in the afternoon. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Thank you very much, Mike Mays. It's 6 minutes after 7 o'clock here on this Friday morning wake-up call. Partly cloudy right outside and 67 degrees. And we're going to be warming up to about 89 right here, dropping back to 68, about where we are right now for tonight's overnight. Got a little showers, scattered showers the next couple of days. Looks like for Labor Day Monday, it's almost nothing. 20% chance of an afternoon shower. And the same thing on Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday looks like about 20%. So it'll be one of those sketchy things. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But it looks like Friday night may be a little bit cautious in terms of whether it's going to rain or it's not going to rain. We'll find out tonight. Speaking of high school football, we'll be talking to Mr. Friday Night, Jay Coombs, a little after 8 o'clock this morning right here live on the radio. Right now, though, I have these death announcements. Yvonne Lovelace Green, age 79 of Bostic, died Tuesday, August 28th at Hospice House for a City. Funeral services will be held at 1 o'clock today at Cherry Mountain Baptist Church. Burial will follow in the church cemetery. Visitation will be from 12 noon until 1 p.m. prior to the service at the church. The Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements for Yvonne Lovelace Green. Annette Hendrick, age 76 of Tanner's Grove Road, Forest City, passed away Wednesday at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. A graveside service will be conducted at 5 o'clock today at the Sulphur Springs Baptist Church Cemetery. The family will receive friends following the service at the gravesite. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements for Annette Hendricks. Kathy Hip England, age 50 of Barbara Street, Forest City, passed away Monday at Hospice of the Carolina Foothill. A memorial service will be conducted at 7 o'clock this evening at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. The family will receive friends following the service at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services, serving the family of Kathy Hip England. Jerry Spangler Camp, age 82 of Ellenboro, died Friday at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. Graveside service will be conducted at Cleveland Memorial Park at 11:30 Saturday. The family will receive friends from 10 until 11 at Harrelson Funeral Home on the day of the service. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Service, serving the family of Jerry Spangler Camp. Eric Gibson, age 68, passed away Sunday, August 26. A celebration of Eric's life will be held 11 a.m. Saturday at First United Methodist Church in Rutherfordton. The family will receive friends following the service at the Hut, 271 North Tom Street, Rutherfordton. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Eric Gibson. Bernardo Hanoso, 68 of Spindale, passed away Tuesday at Rutherford Regional Medical Center. Memorial services will be held 4 p.m. Sunday at Word of Faith Fellowship. Crow's Mortuary is serving the family of Bernardo Hanosos. Carmen Belendino Michael DeFazio, Jr., age 57 of Mooresboro, died at Cleveland Hospital in Shelby Tuesday, August 28th. A visitation and viewing will be held for family and friends at the Paget and King Mortuary Sunday, September the 2nd, 2 until 4. The celebration of life will follow the visitation at the Owl's Nest Sports Lounge, Trade Street, Forest City. The Pageant King Mortuary and Crematory in charge of the arrangement for Carmen Belendino Michael DeFazio Jr. Lee Ledbetter, age 79, of Rutherfordton, died Tuesday, August 28th. A memorial service be conducted at 5 o'clock Wednesday, September 5th at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to the service time at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements for Lee Ledbetter.
She will only accept offers from buyers who are not Trump supporters. If you're a Trump supporter, you can't bid. Now, the woman selling the property, again, unidentified, supposedly to protect her identity. But from who? Her realtor says that locking out Trump supporters is an issue of principles and morals and ethics. Now, experts say it's not clear if this violates the Federal Fair Housing Act. That law protects against discrimination on race, color, handicap, religion, sex, family status, and, of course, nationality. So the anti-Trump sales clause may be perfectly legal because it's about politics. Now, this is hatred pure and simple, but imagine if it was aimed at supporters of a liberal politician. Just imagine if some idiot had a house for sale, but excluded Obama supporters. He or she would be hung out to dry by the drive-by media, and we would know who that person is the moment the house was listed. But in liberal enclaves of this country, Trump hate has moved in. It's permanent. It's an approved way of life, and it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Why would you cut off half your customer base that might want to buy your house? This is a definition of stupid.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. It's the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Over a half-century of family-friendly broadcasting. This is WCAB AM 590 and the new 100.9 FM.
Hi, I'm Johnny Erickson Tata. If you have a disability or a chronic illness, you've probably been told that exercise could help you feel better. And if you have diabetes, listen up. The American Diabetes Association has put together new recommendations on physical activity and exercise. Recent studies have shown that you can improve your blood sugar levels by interrupting prolonged sitting every 30 minutes. All it takes is 3 minutes or more of standing or light intensive activity like overhead arm stretches or walking in place or extending your legs out. So, if you're at work, stretch out your legs while you answer that phone. And if you're in a wheelchair like me, ask your caregivers to help you. It's a simple step toward a healthier you. For more health tips on living well with a chronic illness, visit disabilitycampaign.org. Again, that's disabilitycampaign.org.
43 years experience behind the name, voted best of best 8 years. That's why folks depend on Hutchins Pest Control. You can call on Tim and his team for moisture control, waterproofing, mold remediation, air quality control, dehumidification, and of course, pest control, rats, fire ants, termites, wildlife removal, and so much more. Call them today for your free estimate. 287-5171. Get the job done by the professionals and relax. Hutchins Pest Control, honest, dependable, and on-time service.
Hey, listen, if you're going to be doing some tinkering around the house, doing some fixing up work, doing some of that remodeling you've been wanting to do, or need a hardware item, but you just don't want to go to the big box stores and get overwhelmed by all the stuff and not getting any help you need, Well, those big box stores have 50 of the same thing, just different brands, like some light bulbs, for instance. The Henson's has got it narrowed down for you. One quick stop and one quick shop, folks, and you're out of there, back to your work. You don't have to wait around, walk miles and miles. You got it right there. They got folks that will help you, answer your questions from nails and screws to PPG paint and Cabot stain. Henson's is more than just a lumber yard. So much more. Jamie and Terry have worked at Henson's for over 10 years, so they can help you get what you need. If it's hard to find, let them work their magic to get it for you. Stop by and see them, and go to the back counter and let the boys round it up for you. Doorbuster sales and special pricing runs each month, too, all month long. Check on what they are this month. This month's running out, so get into Henson's building materials this week. And check out those Traeger grills, y'all. There's some mighty fine cooking out with those Traeger grills. Ask about those while you're there. Henson's, Duke Street, Forest City.
The year was 1885. With the railroad passing through town, Flagstaff, Arizona was booming. As well as families, soiled doves, gamblers, and hard cases arrived. A section of town called Whiskey Row had saloons that were open around the clock. There were as many as a dozen robberies each night. The nearest law was Prescott, Arizona, some 87 miles away. When the local paper wrote articles against the bad element, they threatened to burn down the town. 6 businessmen met to discuss a solution to the problem. In order to discover just who the troublemakers were, one of the men volunteered to cruise Whiskey Row with a pocket of gold coins. After 4 nights, the men had accumulated quite a list. In the middle of August, an ultimatum was tacked on the door of every saloon on Whiskey Row. It read, "Notice, Tin Horns have 24 hours left." A few left town, but the hard cases stayed. The names of the remaining Tin Horns were put in a hat, and the morning of August 28, 1885, 10 names were drawn out. 9 of the 10 were found, hands tied, and all 9 men hanged from the same tree. That morning, citizens were whispering about men hanging from a tree outside town. The men were buried. No one spoke of it openly. Nothing was ever written about it in the newspaper. The sheriff arrived from Prescott. He returned empty-handed because no one knew anything about the lynching. Life went on as if nothing had happened, except for one thing, that is. All the Tin Horns decided Flagstaff, Arizona was no longer an exciting place to live. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
We're ready to call around the county to now find out what's been going on overnight while we slept. A lot of folks on duty and watching things. And we'll stop first at the Sheriff's Department, and Deputy Weathers is on duty this morning to give us that report. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good. You?
Doing great, thanks. Tell us what's been happening in the past 24 hours.
The past 24 hours, the Sheriff's Office has responded to 152 calls for service. The jail has processed 6 arrests, and there's currently 204 inmates housed in our detention facility. All we got for you today is 2 arrest reports. We have a Michael Harden of Spindale, was served with a failure to appear on a misdemeanor and received a $3,000 secured bond. And we have Amanda Ledford, homeless address listed. She was arrested for second-degree trespass and simple assault, and she received a $1,000 unsecured bond. And that's all I have for you today.
Don't have many nights like that one. That's a nice, quiet evening, so maybe we'll have a few more like that coming up.
Hope so.
You have a great weekend. Be safe out there.
Thank you.
Thank you. 18 minutes after 7 o'clock, right here on the Friday morning edition of the Call Around News Report, gearing toward Friday night high school football action this evening. Polk County at RS Central is our game of the week. Bessemer City at Chase, and East at South Caldwell, and TJ at Chatham Central. 4 big games tonight, and Mr. Friday Night will talk with me a little after 8 o'clock this morning about those games. Be sure to hang around for that.
Gregory's Original Restaurant in the Park Lane Plaza is the perfect dining choice of Rutherford County. Greg offers all your favorite dishes. Try their delicious subs, grinders, pasta, chicken, burgers, fresh garden salads, and the most delicious steaks served with mushroom gravy or peppers and onions. Be sure to call on Gregory's for all your catering needs at 287-2171. Check out the website for menus and event information, www.gregorysoriginal.com. Gregory's in the Park Lane Plaza in Rutherfordton.
Here's Candy now with the Communications Center report today. Candy, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your report?
In the past 24 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications Center has processed 489 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 57 for EMS, 17 for rescue. The law enforcement of the Sheriff's Office had 152. Forest City had 88. Rutherford had 28. Lake Lore had 5. And Spindle had 51. Our fire calls, Foster responded to a motor vehicle accident, and Cliffside to a grass fire, and that's all we had.
Thanks so much, Candy. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Bye. You know, we don't like to admit these things, and sometimes it happens. Sometimes some folks go through life never having to have a hearing instrument, and some folks go through life not being able to hear. But the good thing about not being able to hear or finding that we're losing that hearing, one ear or both ears, is that we have a place right here close by, right here at home, called Miracle Ear. We have a lady called Lisa Terry at Miracle Ear that's fantastic. She really knows how to help her customers, their patients. And if you're questioning your hearing, this may be time to have that free hearing test. And ask questions, all the questions you want to ask. Lisa and her team will be glad to spend as much time answering your questions as possible. There's so many features about Miracle Ear that you'd want to know, and so many ways to get you back on the track of hearing and being a part of the communication. Don't let this not being able to hear isolate you. Some folks begin to isolate themselves because they can't be a part of the conversation. Call Miracle Ear. Here's the phone number, 368-4126, 368-4126. You'll find them at 1512 West Main Street, Suite 102. Find out about that miracle in Miracle Ear. Ruby Taylor is up next from Danieltown with the SDO report. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your report, Ruby?
Well, the fire department didn't have any calls, and on my birthday calendar today, I've got Bob Elliott having birthday and hope he has a nice day. Then tomorrow, Alvin Buchanan is having a birthday, and Mr. and Miss Chad Walker is having an anniversary, and hope they have a nice day. Sunday, Kevin Irvin, David Cole, and Bryson Yelton having birthdays on Sunday, and hope they have a nice day. The signs are in the neck today, tomorrow, and going to the arms on Sunday. Jim, that's all I got.
Ruby, thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Here's what our customers think about McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC.
I love my McCurry Deck Buick.
I love my McCurry Deck Chevrolet.
We love our McCurry Deck GMC. We guarantee you'll love McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC for city.
I am definitely a McCurry Deck customer for life.
I love the price and the McCurry Deck Customer for Life Rewards program. It gives you up to $3,000 or more in rewards.
Take the easy drive to savings. McCurry Deck for a city. Discover the rewards of being a customer for life.
You know, when you need a plumber, you want someone with a reputation of getting right out to you and getting the job done for you the right way. That'll be Olmsted Plumbing. Since 1973, the Olmsted family has been serving homeowners and builders with the best of service. From unclogging a drain to replacing fixtures and appliances to remodeling jobs, their top quality work, fair prices, and punctual service has made them the area's leading plumbing firm. Eric and Chad are continuing that family tradition, and they'd like to serve you. Call 245-7302. Experience plus equipment equals excellence. Olmsted Plumbing at 245-7302. It's 7:23 this Friday morning as we continue our circle around the county to find out what's going on. And we up to the rumbling ball right now. Here's Homer on the phone. Good morning, Homer.
Good morning.
How are you?
Pretty busy already.
I heard you pulled your back out dirty dancing last week. Is there any truth to that rumor?
Well, I was up here, and to be honest, I didn't even get out of the truck. It was a pretty good crowd. I'd say there was at least 300 people down on the beach, and I heard everything went good, and it's a pretty good crowd, and it was a pretty good dirty dancing ceremony. So that was good, yeah.
Yeah, all right. What else is going on?
Well, we're gearing up for a busy Labor Day weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We've got a wedding. We've got 3 weddings this weekend, one Friday, one Saturday, one Sunday. So we're busy with weddings up here, and it's a Labor Day weekend. So it's going to be a pretty busy weekend here at the resort. I got one announcement, but it's next week. I'll go ahead and announce it. They're having the down-home barbecue that Fairfield Mountains Volunteer Fire Department always has. It is next Saturday, September the 8th, from 4 to 7, rain or shine. It's going to be at the fire department. So if you want some barbecue, come to Fairfield Mountains Fire Department next weekend. I always eat there, and it's pretty good. It benefits the Fire Department Women's Auxiliary. Also, we are experiencing a power outage here at the resort. Power has been out at the resort since 2:30 this morning. And unfortunately, they're not anticipating it to be back on until 7 o'clock. It's going to put a damper on things with the air conditioners and everything.
What caused the power outage, do you know?
They said the midnight guy said something about a broken pole, a double circuit line, whatever that means. And luckily, some of our facilities, like our restaurants, has generators. Us as security is running off total generators, so it's unfortunately for other people who are without power. Hopefully they'll get it back on sooner.
Yeah, well, I hope so. Weekend's not a good time to be without power, is it?
That's exactly right, especially with the heat during the day, food in the refrigerator, and people trying to get to work. So it just kind of puts a damper on things, but let's just hope they get it back on sooner than later.
Well, call Steve, have him climb that pole and fix it.
We're getting ready to call him right now.
Hope you have a great day and a good weekend. Thanks for the report.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye. 26 minutes after the hour of 7 here on this Friday morning. And a Friday morning it is. Cloudy right now. We may get some sun before too long, but right now it's going to be partly cloudy throughout the day today and rising up to about 89 for our daytime high.
Get ready for those hot summer months driving with a stop at RS Speedy Lube, Railroad Avenue. The Express Inspection Station gets you back on the road and keeps you legal. Speedy Lube has 2 lanes to serve you, gets you in and out in no time, and vacuum your car while the oil is being changed, air conditioner checked, transmission flushed, wiper blades replaced if needed, even a top-of-the-line car wash, all at RS Speedy Lube and Inspection Station, Railroad Avenue in Ruth. Take care of that car and have a safe trip.
Now let's check in up at Hudlow, Volunteer Fire District Community, and Bob Hodges there. Hi, Bob. How are you?
Oh, we're doing just fine on this Friday morning.
Ready for the weekend, are you?
Oh, look like it's going to be a long weekend.
Yes, it does.
Got that holiday weekend coming up.
Yeah, a little guesswork on whether or not it's going to rain or whether it's not going to rain, but it looks like it's not going to be too heavily soaked out with some rain. Maybe a passing shower would be about it.
Well, the weather forecasters, they could take a week off this week. We wouldn't even miss them there. They could done one forecast last all week.
That's exactly right.
Same thing every day. But, Jim, it is look like it's going to be another hot, dry day up here today. But with the fire department, we've answered one medical call. Hadn't had any fire wreck calls during the night, so that's good. And maybe they'll stay quiet over the weekend with us. And I want to say happy birthday today to Amanda LaBreer. And then for Saturday, Jonathan Owens. And for Sunday, our own Todd Kaiser there.
No way.
Yeah. Hope he has a big birthday weekend there. He can celebrate it whole weekend.
He was almost a Labor Day baby, wasn't he?
That's right. Right through Labor Day there. They got that Big Apple Festival starting at Hendersonville today, too, there.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's going on now. Starts today, so there'll be a lot of people going up that way, I guess. So.
Well, I haven't been to that thing in about 30 years. I went one time, a long time ago, with Governor Martin, but I haven't been back since.
Well, that's a crowd. You can't hardly walk, they say.
That's what I understand.
It's getting through there and everything, but I believe they said that's been going on for 72 years this year, so that's been a long time there, having it up there. So
I understand it's quite exciting to go, but if you love the crowds, I guess that's the place to be this weekend.
That's the place to be, that's right there. If you like them fried apple pies.
I do.
Well, Jim, you take care, and I hope you have a big weekend. And
thanks, Bob. You too. You and Aberdeen have a good one. Get some rest and enjoy the weekend.
Okay.
See you now.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's Mr. Bob Hodge reporting out of Hudlow Fire District. 29 minutes now past 7.
The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of Spring Air mattresses. Some come with the cool gel that you're going to love. Remember the days when you could flip your mattress? Well, Spring Air is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new wall hugger style of furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
We're searching for news from the fire districts this morning, and we're now over to Cherry Mountain Fire District, and Sue Price is on duty over there to give us the report of what's happening. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning, Jim.
How are you?
I'm good. Hope you are.
Yes, indeed.
Good. Looks like we're going to have another hot day today, but that's okay. I'm starting out at 67, so it's nice out there right now, but boy, it got hot yesterday. But anyway, we've got a little bit longer of these hot days, and then we're going to be having some cold ones before too long. Let's see, I have absolutely no birthdays on my calendar. The fire department hadn't had any calls. We had our board meeting last night, but they had been quiet. Let's see, Fairview's got birthdays for Linda Michaels and I don't know how to pronounce that first name, Chizo, Chizo Abra, and First Bow doesn't have anything, so not too many celebrating, but we have anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary. We'll have a really good day today and enjoy their special day. The Golden Valley Community Club having a fundraiser raffle, 3 chances to win on the tickets. The tickets are $10. Prizes are Rudger 1022, Mossberg M500, and Terrace Judge. And you don't have to be present to win, but come on up to the clubhouse on September the 8th and enjoy the meeting the candidates. They're going to be there. I think that starts about 3 o'clock. And then from 4:30 to 6:30, we'll be having a hot dog and hamburger sale, and then at 7, between 6:30 and 7, the last candidates will be on. So a good chance to have a good supper and a good chance to meet the candidates and be there for the drawing. That'll take place sometime between that happenings at night. And so far, I guess that's all I've got, Jim. It's just quiet and calm over this way, looking for a good day and good weekend. I hope you and Faye will have one. She doing okay?
She's doing very well. Yeah, she's improving every day.
Good.
I appreciate it. So you and Richard have a good one, too, and get some time off for yourself, and I'll see you next time.
Okay.
Right,
bye-bye.
bye. 33 minutes after 7 right here on WCAB. That's a reminder, those of you who have not yet heard, Cubs beat the Braves last night 5-4. They'll be playing tonight, but we will have that high school football game on this evening. Our game of the week is Polk County at RS Central. The Braves will be playing Pittsburgh, and we'll follow the scores, and Jay will be able to give those at 3 as the game unfolds tonight. A lot of sports activity around here, and you got it all right here from the Mighty 590 and the powerful 100.9 FM.
Saving a lot on your groceries is easy at Save-A-Lot. They have hundreds of super low prices on many of your favorite name brand items. They have a great selection of fresh meats and produce, frozen foods, snack foods, your favorite beverages, and delicious pastries. Hours are Monday through Saturday, 8 to 9, Sundays 10 to 8. Saving a lot is easy at Save-A-Lot in the White Oak Plaza in Spindale.
Striving to share a bit of Southern hospitality as they meet the flooring needs of their neighbors here in Rutherford County and surrounding counties is Southern Carpet. The Tony family, Gerald and Lynn Tony and Clayton Tony, have been in this business a long, long time, and their goal is to make sure that you are a satisfied customer. They want you to come by to see them, tell them what you're looking for in terms of floor covering in your house, one room or a hallway or 20 rooms. They can do that for you. Their family is pleased to have grown over 20 years, and they've grown one of the reasons because they supply good quality, good service, and they know how to take care of their customers. Residential and commercial, the carpets, hardwood, laminate, ceramic tile, luxury vinyl, sheet vinyl, and all right here at your convenience. Let your dreams come true. Contact Southern Carpet and find them at 1512 West Main Street, Forest City. Telephone them, ring-a-ding-a-ding them at 245-0310. That is Southern Carpet. All right, we're going now to Union Mills to get the report from that part of our beautiful county. Here's Brenda Kelly to give us the news. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you on this fabulous Friday?
I'm tickled to death.
Tickled to death. You got the weekend off.
I hope so. Got a lot of work to do at the house, but...
we've always got work to do at the house.
We never get caught up, do we?
No, I don't care what. You just can't get it all done. Not unless you got, you're filthy rich and you got somebody that does you pay somebody to do every little thing.
Well, I'm not there yet.
Me neither. Doubt if I will be till I get to heaven. I won't have to worry about it. I'll be on streets of gold then.
I'm working on my second million.
Are you? Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear it.
I gave up on my first one.
You're crazy, Jim. I give up on all mine, I'm telling you. But we hope everybody's having a good day. We just want to caution everybody to be careful. This will be a busy time on the roads and airways and byways and highways. Just be careful and don't be using your cell phone trying to drive. Keep your eye on the road. I've got 64 degrees on the front porch. Birthdays today, I've got Rose Head and Ben Parton. On Round Hill, I've got Matthew Nanny. So we hope all these people have a great old big day on their special day. And then ways of announcement. Thermal City United Methodist Church on Thermal City Road in Union Mills will be having an all-you-can-eat spaghetti supper Saturday, September the 1st. Begins at 4 p.m. and goes until, and they'll have spaghetti, homemade sauce, plain or mushroom, garlic bread, full salad bar, dessert, and drink. Adults $8, children $3, under age 5 eat free. They have takeout plates available, and proceeds is support the church. And then Union Mills Learning Center on Hudlow Road. Let me start over. Union Mills Learning Center on Hudlow Road in Union Mills on Friday, September the 7th is going to have bluegrass tradition. That'd be at 7 p.m. Meal begins at 6 p.m. The cost of the meal is $5, and they're going to have spaghetti, salad, bread, dessert, and drink. Music begins at 7, and tip jar available for the band. And I reckon that's all I got going on that I know of.
All right, always plenty of good food available, isn't there?
Oh yeah, everywhere. Yeah, and if there's not a supper or a big meal going on somewhere, you can always go to drop in and get that good chicken. They got some good chicken.
You said that right.
Yeah, I love it.
Yep, it's as good as you'll find anywhere.
Yeah.
All right, Brenda. Well, I hope you'll find something to entertain yourself this weekend with a new puzzle or something you can get accomplished.
I'm not doing the puzzle, but I'm going to go up in the mountains Monday.
Oh, good.
But I'll be on the radio. I'm not going to leave till after that time.
You going to go up to Grandfather Mountain and cross that swinging bridge?
No, I went up there 2 years ago. We're going to go up toward Maggie Valley and like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, tell Maggie I said hello.
I'll tell Maggie you said hello.
You know, they used to be an old lady stood on the street up there in a bonnet and a long dress.
Oh, really?
her name was Maggie, and she used to stand on the streets up there and wave at people as they go by. And I don't think they do that anymore. It's part of their commercial inviting people into Maggie Valley. And she was supposed to be Maggie, and you could see her walking up the street, and she'd wave at cars as they'd go by, you know. She was a cute little lady.
Yeah.
I wish they'd still do that. It sort of had a homey effect to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, you have a good one. Enjoy yourself, and I'll see you next time.
Catch you later.
All right, bye-bye. Brenda Kelly reporting out of Union Mills, 39 past the hour.
Getting ready for deer season doesn't have to be burdensome with your friends standing by to help. Farmer's Friend, feed, seed, and supply in Rutherford. Deer corn, $7 for a 50-pound bag. Cob corn, $8. Peanut deer mix, $12.99 for the 50-pound bag. Sugar beet, $25 for 3 pounds. All your deer season preparation is now available at Farmer's Friend, feed, seed, and supply. Check out the best price for Kills Weed Killer, $47.99 for 2.5 gallons. Farmer's Friend, feed, seed, and supply, 188 Whiteside Road, Rutherford.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697. All right, let's head toward Ellenboro now. We get Luther Gilligan on the phone to tell us what's been happening over there with the fire district and other news. Good morning.
Good morning. Place to be downtown Ellenboro, where you live but do without the things you have to have.
There you go.
And we do that good here because we need a lot, but we have nothing. Poor people down here.
You told me one time before, a long time ago, but I have forgotten how Ellenboro got its name.
It was named after train engineer's daughter. The saying is, when train was coming through here, they wanted a bell. And the train engineer had a daughter who was bad off. Her name was Ellen. He said, if you name the town after my daughter, I'll give you a bell. So they named the town Ellenboro, and they got the bell.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was named after somebody relative to the railroad company.
That's the story.
Yeah, I'm sticking to it.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. Until somebody comes up with a better one. But I think there's another story somewhere. I don't know where it's at. I remember this one. This is one that, I don't remember who it was. Either Elizabeth Ryan or Jane Tisdale put it in the book. They got the information. I don't remember which. I think it was one of them, too. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's been around a long time. We've been incorporated since 1889. Been around here a long time. But it's a good little town, a good place to be, a good place to live. But it's quiet down here this morning. Nothing is going on. Fire department didn't have no calls yesterday, last night. Everything quiet this morning, just sitting around drinking coffee. And everybody getting their coffee, heading on out to work, trying to get this last day in before they have the long weekend. The last long weekend they'll have. Won't get another day off till Thanksgiving. Then, hey, we'll have a good time then, too. But, hey, 2 weeks. Well, let's see, about 3 weeks. 3 weeks, the fair will be here. We're looking forward to those funnel cakes and there's corn on the cob. We're looking forward to all that good stuff. It'll be, what is it, 17th to 22nd of September. So we're looking forward to a good time there. Mr. One wish happy birthday today is the old Robert Wells. He's having one day. I think he turned past 77 today. And Miss Selma Brooks is having one, and also Eddie Scruggs. And Miss Louise McGinnis is having a birthday today also. And Keith Larry is having one. And my neighbor across the street, Kevin Beaver, he's having a birthday today. He turned 52 today. So look, all these people have a great day and enjoy their day. Jimmy, you have a great day. Have a good weekend. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, Luther, have a good one now, and I'll see you. Thanks.
All right, take care now.
All right, bye-bye. That's Luther Gilligan reporting in this morning from Ellenboro. And if you're having a birthday today, call it in to us now. That's when we celebrate birthdays. Right after that call, and we'll give away some donuts from Granny B's, those delicious daylight donuts from Granny B's. We have a drawing. Each one name that's called in, we put them in there and have a name, have a draw, and then we tell who's going to win. So that could be you if you're celebrating. 287-3356. Todd standing by to take your call. More than 1 million Americans have heart attacks each year. And if you or a loved one experiences symptoms of a heart attack, every second matters. That's why the emergency department at Rutherford Regional Health System is a chest pain accredited facility. What does that mean to you? It means quality care here at home that could save precious seconds when treating the symptoms of heart attacks. To learn more about Rutherford Regional and its commitment to safe quality care, visit myrutherfordregional.com.
It's time for you to test drive the affordable, fuel-efficient Ford Fusion from Sisk Family Ford in Forest City. Family-owned Sisk Ford can put you into the car you want with a payment plan you can appreciate. If it's a truck you want, get the Ford truck that's breaking records in sales. Ask about why the sales department is being bragged on with each and every sale that they make. They love your business at Sisk Family Ford, and it shows. New and used automobiles and an award-winning service department makes Sisk Family Ford the choice for so many. Step up to Ford today. Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304. That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today while they're fresh. They're good. They're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday. Well, happy birthday to, let's see, Rose Head and Ben Pardon. And we rip another page off the old calendar. That wraps it up for this month for birthdays. Todd's got a list of names he's bringing back here to me. Run, Todd, run. Run, Todd, run. Boy, you should see Todd run. Sharon Ellen of Rutherford is having a birthday, and Jeff Jones over in Danieltown is 60 today. Not many people celebrating, but a few. And we'll have a drawing in just a moment.
Bill Broadhurst, along with about 1,200 other men and women, entered the 10K Pepsi Challenge in Omaha, Nebraska one warm July day in 1981. For Bill, this was a major event. An aneurysm and brain surgery several years earlier had paralyzed his left side. His goal was not to win, but to finish the race. As the gun cracked, Bill put his good leg forward, planted it, and swung the left leg around. In methodical fashion, the routine was followed step after step. Ever so slowly, Bill inched his way toward the goal. In spite of the pain, the discomfort, and awkward stride, he pressed on. While most runners traversed the course in under an hour, and the faster ones in nearly half that time, Bill finished in 2 hours and 29 minutes. Rather than the hundreds of people who were there to meet the first runners across the line, there were just a few when Bill arrived. But as he finished the course, he saw an individual coming toward him who he recognized from pictures in the newspaper. Bill Rogers, the running legend and marathon winner, stepped forward, took off his new one medallion, and placed it around Bill Broadhurst's neck. "Here," said Rogers, "you've worked harder for this than I have." You may be limited in your abilities to do as much as others do, but stay at it. You will reach the finish line if you don't quit. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living.
And congratulations to Jeff Jones of Danieltown. Jeff Jones is 60. He won the donuts just a bit ago with the drawing, and also want to wish late birthday came in. Darren Medford is 94 today, so happy birthday, Darren Medford. Too late for the drawing, unfortunately, but we do want to wish you a big old happy birthday. And again, the donut winner was Jeff Jones of Danieltown, who turns 60 today, so probably needs the donuts to cheer him up. I don't know. Well, coming up next hour, a little after 8 o'clock, Mr. Friday Night, Jay Coombs will be on the radio with us to talk about tonight's game lineup, how it's shaping up, how it's looking, and what he anticipates for tonight's broadcast, along with Cliff Palmieri. Also, next hour, 8:30 hour, it'll be the Word of Faith Speaks Out again at 8:30, telling their side of the story, the controversial stories that are out there about them. They're rebuking those and talking about their side of the story. So listen at 8:30 this morning for Word of Faith Speaks Out, right here exclusively on WCAB.
You got the magic touch. It makes me glow so much. It casts a spell. It rings a bell. The magic touch. Oh, when I feel your charm, it's like a false alarm. You make me thrill so much. You've got the magic touch. Here I go. Know too much, and then I felt your touch, and now I've learned I can return the magic touch. Here I go. Know too much, and then I felt your touch, and now I've learned I can return the magic touch.
When the sun goes down, there's a tar up on the roof, and your shoes get so hot, you wish your tired feet were fireproof. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah, on a blanket with my baby's where I'll under the boardwalk, out of the sun, under the boardwalk, we'll be having some fun, under the boardwalk, people walking above, under the boardwalk, we'll be falling in love, under the boardwalk, boardwalk. In the park you hear the happy sound of the carousel. You can almost taste the hot dogs, French fries they sell under the boardwalk, down by the sea. Yeah. On a blanket with my baby is where I'll be.
NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. President Donald Trump is stopping in North Carolina today to raise money for 2 U.S. House candidates amid uncertainty about the future of the state's existing congressional districts. Republicans Mark Harris and Representative Ted Budd lag behind their Democratic opponents in campaign cash, and a visit from Mr. Trump might provide a needed boost. Congressman Harris tells WSOC News,
I think it speaks volumes about the importance of this race.
Family, friends, and well-wishers packed a Phoenix church yesterday to remember Arizona Senator John McCain. McCain's close friend, former Vice President Joe Biden, paid tribute.
John McCain's impact on America is not over. It's not hyperbole. It is not over. I don't think it's even close.
The Arizona senator's 5-day funeral procession shifts to the nation's capital, where he'll lie in state under the Capitol Rotunda today. 2 people were arrested for fighting, and a third was charged with resisting an officer following last night's dust-up of dueling demonstrations over Silent Sam at UNC Chapel Hill. Roughly 300 converged on McCorkle Place near the spot where the Confederate monument was yanked from its base last Monday. This protester said,
when Nazis show up, somebody's got to be there to say, we don't like Nazis in our space. If they don't, then they're allowed to proliferate, spread their ideas.
New Mexico State Police say 7 people are now confirmed dead after a head-on collision between a bus and a semi-truck on Interstate 40 near the Arizona border. There were 49 people on board the Greyhound bus. Preliminary information indicates one of the truck's tires blew, sending it across the median and into oncoming traffic. Reporter Allison Martinez has more.
People were screaming as rescuers tried to get them out. They saw bystanders shading children with blankets after they were finally rescued. Only 6 of the 48 on board were not transported to a hospital.
And a Durham woman is millions richer after winning a $4 million lottery prize. You're listening to NCN News.
Hey football fans, the wait is over. The 2018 ACC Football Preview Magazine is out on newsstands right now. Get your football fix before the season kicks off with predictions from the experts, recruiting news, and rankings of the best ACC players and teams. No other magazine dedicates 10 pages to each ACC school, each jam-packed with stats and information. Want a copy shipped to you? Order your copy today by going to accsports.com and clicking on the Football Preview banner.
Will Democrats break Republican supermajorities in the North Carolina General Assembly? Will this year's election change the course of the state Supreme Court? What about all those constitutional amendments on the ballot? Carolina Journal will help you answer those questions. Available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
President Trump is signaling he won't fire Attorney General Jeff Sessions before voters go to the polls in November.
The president says he would just love to have Jeff Sessions do a great job. Asked in a Bloomberg interview if he'll keep the Attorney General beyond the midterm elections in November, the president declined to comment. Also in his Bloomberg interview, Mr. Trump reiterated he'll pull the U.S. out of the World Trade Organization if it doesn't, quote, shape up. And he said he's not thrilled that his Fed chair is raising interest rates. In a line that may be read as a threat to the Fed's independence, the president said, "We are not being accommodated. I don't like that." Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, the White House.
It's been 2 years since Hurricane Matthew slammed into the North Carolina coastline, and many of the victims still are not back at their homes. State lawmakers called out Governor Roy Cooper and his administration for what they say has been a failure to distribute aid to North Carolinians. Senator Danny Britt represents Columbus County.
The same requirements the federal government has placed on the state of North Carolina to get those monies were placed on South Carolina. South Carolina has been moving farther ahead of North Carolina since day one.
Good luck if you're headed to the airport to start the holiday weekend. CBS News correspondent Peter King says you'll have a lot of company.
This is expected to be the busiest day for air travel during the Labor Day holiday period. The trade group Airlines for America says nearly 3 million passengers will fly in the U.S., up 3.5% from a year ago. Drivers can expect higher gas prices. AAA says the national average is about $2.84 a gallon, 46 cents a gallon more than a year ago. The Auto Club predicts prices could start dropping after the holiday. Peter King, CBS News.
North Carolina's Wildlife Commission says 29 people have died in boating accidents this year, making it the deadliest in the past 20 years. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Get the first weather forecast every morning at 6:05 here on AM 59 WCAB Rutherfordton.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Capitol Hill remembering one of its own. Senator John McCain will lie in state today after a ceremony headed by Vice President Mike Pence. ABC's Janae Norman is at the Capitol.
There will be a formal ceremony here later this morning honoring McCain and another memorial service planned for tomorrow where former Presidents Obama and George W. Bush are expected to speak. But President Trump won't be there after being criticized for his initial response to McCain's death. The president saying the two had strong disagreements, but he respects McCain's service to the country.
After a tribute concert last night in Detroit, people are already lined up there now this morning for funeral services. It'll be held for Aretha Franklin. President Trump's disapproval ratings at a new all-time high in an ABC News Washington Post poll, 60%. Gary Langer runs polling for ABC News.
His average approval rating across his first year and a half in office is the lowest for any president in survey data back to the Truman administration.
Today, President Trump focuses on small businesses and retirement.
President Trump travels to Charlotte, North Carolina today, where he has an event on strengthening retirement security. He's expected to sign an executive order there that strives to make work-based retirement plans much more affordable for small businesses.
That's ABC's Stephanie Ramos. The cleanup continues along a New Mexico highway where a bus and a tractor trailer collided. 7 people were killed. Dozens more were injured. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is on the scene.
Some of that debris is still there on the side of the road. The NTSB has a team at the scene investigating. Greyhound says it is also going to investigate and that they are fully cooperating with authorities.
Investigators say it appears a blown tire on the big rig sent it careening across traffic straight into the bus. A former producer at NBC News says executives there shut down Ronan Farrow's investigation into sex abuse allegations against Harvey Weinstein. Farrow's report, eventually published in New Yorker, NBC is denying it. You're listening to ABC News.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Feel like you're on a never-ending treadmill, staying in one place and never getting ahead with those minimum payments? Do you feel like there's no way out? Don't let the credit card companies bully you anymore. There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. The program at Total Financial Freedom can help you get debt-free in months instead of decades. Get off the debt treadmill and stop the harassment. Get free of credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and medical bills. Call now at 866-844-7344 for free information. For about 10 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands. They're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, too. Get off the endless cycle without having to declare bankruptcy. You'll have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Call Total Financial now at 866-844-7344. That's 866-844-7344.
A judge is now ordering a couple to hand over hundreds of thousands of dollars to a homeless vet. Johnny Bobbitt says he didn't want it to go to court.
I didn't want to be pressuring to get a lawyer or do anything because I didn't want to appear ungrateful.
The couple raised the money for Bobbitt after he helped them out, but then refused to give him much of the cash. Guidelines for car seats are changing. The American Academy of Pediatrics now says kids should stay in rear-facing car seats until they hit the maximum weight and height for the seat, no matter the age. The old recommendation said kids could go in front-facing seats when they turn 2. Video game company EA is now launching a program to help people affected by the deadly attack on a gaming tournament in Jacksonville. Here's ABC's Jim Ryan.
It's not a tough out today.
Gunshots interrupted the live feed of the Madden NFL 19 competition, and now EA Sports, the producer of the game, plans to live stream an event called Jacksonville Tribute to remember the 2 players who died last Sunday and the 11 who were hurt. The event will be held September 6th. The company also has dedicated to spending $1 million to support the victims directly. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Some progress being made in Hollywood in putting more women and more people of color into the director's chair for television shows. The Directors Guild of America says hiring of first-time women directors has been 8% higher than it was in the past, hiring directors of color up 4 points. This is ABC News.
Results not typical. Do you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in personal or business taxes and you can't afford to pay? Get tax representation. The industry experts with negotiating with the IRS with an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Call today and the IRS will be contacted the same day, putting a stop to bank levies and wage garnishments. Call the tax representation hotline at 800-556-7089. 800-556-7089. That's 800-556-7089.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
North Carolina Tractor Supply, your Massey Ferguson dealer in Rutherford, has some really great ideas this year. This could be the year for you to get that Massey Ferguson you've been wanting. Stop by today and see what Massey Ferguson and Phil Sheehan at North Carolina Tractor Supply have for you. Check to see if you qualify for 0% financing. Today could be your day at North Carolina Tractor Supply, Railroad Avenue, Rutherford.
Later this afternoon, along with our heat and humidity, we'll be watching out for a few widely scattered showers and storms. The high temperature later on, upper 80s to low 90s. That'll come along with partly cloudy skies. Now, area high school football games, there may be a few showers and storms about the area during game time. Partly cloudy, the low in the low 70s. Tomorrow is partly cloudy. It's hot. It's humid. A chance for a few showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon and early evening. Our high temperature in the upper 80s to about 90 degrees. I'm Mike Hayes in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
And currently we are at 68 degrees, and the sun is beginning to shine. We may have some sun today and some clouds throughout today and tonight. Well, there's a 40% chance of showers, but we're going to hold that off until the football game is over with, we hope. Congratulations to Jeff Jones of Danieltown, 60 today, and he won himself some De La Donuts from the drawing just a little bit ago right here on 100.9 FM and 590 AM. Speaking of Friday night football, and we have been this morning, here's the man that gives us all the action on Friday nights, Mr. Friday Night, Jay Coombs. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Jim.
Well, it's last week proved to be an exciting game. Let's see if we can duplicate that tonight. What's up for tonight?
Oh, let's not duplicate that. That was a long game last week. 103 points went up on the scoreboard. Thankfully, a great win for the East Rutherford Cavaliers. That was the most points they had scored in 15 years last Friday night. It was quite an offensive show. East defeating North Gaston 61-42. Cavaliers have a really good team, I think. I'm not going to say this is the best East team since 2005, but I think this year's team has the potential to be the best Cavaliers team since the 2004-2005 era. Cavaliers are going to try to move to 3-0 tonight. They make a road trip up to Caldwell County. They'll face the South Caldwell Spartans. They've only played one game, and they were defeated handily at the hands of Kings Mountain last week, 42-6. Last year in Forest City, this was a fairly easy win for the Cavaliers. They defeated the Spartans by 40 points, 47-7. I like the opportunity here tonight. I think Cavaliers could be 3-0 after tonight's game up at South Caldwell. We have one other team. Talk about a long road trip on this Labor Day holiday weekend. I really feel for the players, the band, the coaches, and everybody involved here. Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy, the Griffins are 1-0, had an open date last week, and of course defeated North Lincoln in the opening week of the season. They travel all the way up to Bear Creek, North Carolina tonight. They will take on the Chatham Central Bears. Bears are winless. They are 0-2, last week losing to Hopton, and in the opening week losing to Wake Christian. Last year, they came here to Avondale. Griffins defeated the Bears 44-12. Now, the Griffins have some injuries. They have reportedly lost a couple of their starting players, possibly for the rest of the season. So it's going to be a test tonight, a gut check for the younger underclassmen, some of whom are going to have to step up to the forefront. Griffins tonight trying to improve to 2-0 as they travel up to Chatham Central. By the way, they have moved that kickoff up 30 minutes, partly because of the distance involved in traveling, partly because of the Labor Day holiday weekend. I don't know that 30 minutes is going to make a huge difference, but I guess it's the thought that counts. So it will be a 7 o'clock kickoff tonight at Chatham Central. Have two games at home here tonight in Rutherford County out at Allen Stadium. Chase trying to get its first win, and the Trojans tonight will be hosting the Yellow Jackets from Bessemer City. Bessemer City is 1-1. They easily defeated East Gaston last week, 27-6. They lost their season opener to Cherryville by 3, 17-14. Now, Chase played Cherryville last Friday night. Cherryville defeated the Trojans by 11, 26-15. And, of course, in the opener, Chase dropped that disappointing 3-point loss to Polk County, 31-28. I like the matchup at home tonight for Chase. If the Trojans will play like they have played for the past 2 weeks, but will complete all 4 quarters, if the Trojans can get a lead and hold on to that lead throughout the night, hey, I like their chances tonight that Chase may pick up its first win of the season tonight over Bessemer City. And our featured game of the week will be from Rutherfordton, RS Central at home tonight, hosting the Polk County Wolverines. Hilltoppers also looking for their first win of the year. Last week, defeated by Patton 23-7, and they got knocked off by McDowell 2 weeks ago, 22-7. Polk County, on the other hand, we mentioned in their season opener, they defeated Chase by 3. Last week, they hosted a nationally recognized high school team all the way from Fort Washington, Maryland. The National Christian Academy came to Columbus. They are coached by a former NFL player. They have a number of Division I prospects. And the Wolverines saw that, hey, if you want to reach the upper echelons of high school football, this is what it could take. They lost that game by a score of 40-8. But I'm looking forward to a great matchup tonight. We have seen Polk County already when they played Chase, have not seen the Hilltoppers in person yet this year. So I'm looking forward to see what Coach Brad Hutchins has put together with a fairly young team this year up at Central. 7:30 kickoff for all of the games tonight, except for that TJ game. That will be a 7 o'clock kickoff at Chatham Central.
And you do a 6:45 countdown to kick off early that game as well to get things lined up and let folks know what's going on.
Well, we try our best. Yeah, as best we can bring folks up to date. And, of course, always like to talk about some of the other games in the area. Over in Cleveland County tonight, Shelby will be at Burns. That's always a big rivalry, to say the least. Crest has an open date, so Chargers do not play this week. But certainly some of the other games in the area tonight that also have some interesting matchups. But Cliff and I look forward to seeing the Hilltoppers for the first time this season, 7:30 kickoff in Rutherfordton.
And we always encourage folks to go out and support the teams publicly in live when they're home like that. Go to the stadium and enjoy it. If you cannot go, be sure to tune in 100.9 FM or 590 AM or listen online at www.wcab59.com and pick it up that way. And I believe, Jay, you're doing some other stuff, iPhones, and I above my head of technology. What are you doing here?
Oh, Jim, it's not that bad. It's not that complicated. We'll get you caught up with 2018 one of these days.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you'll also find us on Facebook and Twitter Both places, all you have to do is type in WCAB football. You'll go right to it. We continue to pick up new followers each and every week on both Facebook and Twitter. And we enjoy the interaction that we have with a lot of the fans that way.
Jay Coombs, thank you very much for your input today, and look forward to another exciting game tonight. And we'll listen on one of those ways tonight for this game this evening. Thanks, Jay Coombs, very much.
Okay, thanks, Jim.
See ya. Bye-bye. Mr. Friday Night on Radio with me this morning. It's 14 now past 8 o'clock. We'll have that Sheriff's Report coming up in just a few minutes.
Right now, Carolina West Wireless is offering buy one, get one free on some of our most popular brand name smartphones, including the Samsung Galaxy S8 with the infinity display, iris scanning, and a 12-megapixel camera. So wherever life takes you, your new phones will let you send, search, and share as much or as little as you choose. BOGO S8s end September 8th. Carolina West Wireless. Go stay connected. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service supports the mission and the good work of the volunteers of the Church of the Exceptional and reminds you that their donation address is Post Office Box 46, Caroline, North Carolina, 28019. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service owner Kent Dorsey and staff thank the dedicated volunteers at the Church of the Exceptional for their mission in Rutherford County. In a day of out-of-state owned funeral homes in the area, Washburn and Dorsey is one of your locally owned funeral homes.
Some news from here and there this morning as we scan other sources of news. The Daily Courier's continued to report about the break-in resulting in injury to a suspect. Forest City police officers are continuing to investigate a break-in at the Cool Springs Administrative Office Building in West Main Street in Forest City that occurred either late Wednesday night or early Thursday morning. The Rutherford County Schools' central offices are located in the building, and on Thursday, after the break-in was discovered by a custodian, the building was closed for the day. The offices are expected to reopen this morning for central staff and the public. Detective Sergeant Josh Williams of the Forest City PD said nothing of significance was taken when someone broke through a basement window. Williams said there was evidence the person who broke into the building sustained a serious cut. When the custodian arrived before 7 a.m., the broken window was discovered, and school officials Brad Tigg and Chris Lovelace were notified. Williams said there were evidence the suspect was hungry and ate a year-old ice cream that was in the refrigerator. They are continuing to investigate that case. 74-year-old Freemantown Road Lake Lure man died Monday, August 27th, as a result of a motor vehicle crash in Spartanburg County. According to news report, Douglas Bryant was a passenger in a 2013 Buick that collided with a 2004 Chevrolet pickup truck at the intersection of U.S. Highway 221 and Flatwood Industrial Drive after 1 p.m. on Monday. Bryant died at the Spartanburg Regional Medical Center a short time after the accident, according to the South Carolina Highway Patrol. Bryant was not wearing a seatbelt at the time and was ejected from the car. The driver of the car and another female passenger were wearing their seatbelts. They were also injured. The driver was entrapped. The South Carolina Highway Patrol reported their multidisciplinary accident was continues to investigate that wreck, and no charges have been filed at this time. The Sheriff's Report coming up here in just a few moments with Deputy Weathers.
You deserve a smarter energy future now. That's why Duke Energy is investing in advanced technology that improves reliability and helps prevent outages, that strengthens the grid against everything from storms to cyber attacks, moves the most vulnerable lines underground, and adds more solar. Because you deserve stronger, cleaner, more reliable energy, and we're determined to deliver it. We're Duke Energy, and we're building your smarter energy future today. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
Do you need some extra money in your pocket? Try Insurance Service Associates, your local independent agent. We can shop your auto and home insurance with several companies to get you better coverage and the best rate. Insurance Service Associates at 127 East Trade Street in Forest City for auto, home, or commercial insurance. More choices, better coverage, best rate. That's Insurance Service Associates, 245-5301.
Did you know that Rutherford County's largest pediatrics practice has 5 providers to serve the children and youth of this area? And even better, Rutherford Children's Care is welcoming new patients. With 3 physicians and 2 mid-level providers, the group is available to examine, diagnose, and treat patients from birth to age 18. Rutherford Children's Care is conveniently located at 162 Commercial Drive in Forest City, just behind Big Dave's Restaurant. To schedule an appointment, call Rutherford Children's Care at 828-287-9325. And the question of the morning is, how can we expect our children to behave themselves and act decent when adults act stupid around them? Here's a story out of Winston-Salem. North Carolina police have charged 2 women with helping 3 children smoke an apparently drug-laced cigar on social media video. Winston-Salem Police Department news release says officers arrested the women Tuesday after numerous reports about the Facebook video. Police seized drug paraphernalia. Jail records show Michaela Pearson and Candace Little were held on charges of child abuse and contributing to delinquency of minors. The children were treated at a hospital and remained there for observation. Video obtained by WXII-TV shows an adult handing 3 young children a cigarillo that they puff on. Police said the cigar contained an illegal substance but didn't elaborate what it was. Phone listings for the women couldn't be found. The public defender's office said he won't know if the women have lawyers until an upcoming court appearance. But these women forcing these kids, 3-year-olds, to smoke cigars laced with drugs. Can we wonder, wow, our kids are growing up without any kind of moral fiber because adults leading them down the wrong path? 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. Sheriff's report in just a moment.
Hey, this is Brittany from the gift shop at Smith's Drugs of Forest City. Come see me for all your vacation needs, including sunscreen, sun hats, sunglasses, bug spray, and stylish summer clothing. I'm excited to tell you we have new summer sandals and booties. See you soon.
Now, David Weathers was on with us earlier, gave this report.
Past 24 hours, the Sheriff's Office has responded to 152 calls for service. The jail has processed 6 arrests, and there's currently 204 inmates housed in our detention facility. All we got for today is 2 arrest reports. We have a Michael Harden of Spindale, was served with a failure to appear on a misdemeanor, and received a $3,000 secured bond. And we have Amanda Ledford, homeless address listed. She was arrested for second-degree trespass and simple assault, and she received a $1,000 unsecured bond. And that's all I have for you today.
Over a half-century of family-friendly broadcasting. This is WCAB AM 590 and the new 100.9 FM.
8:30 this morning, Word of Faith continues to speak out here in the Blue Room live, rebutting their accusations, people accusing them of all kinds of things. You've been hearing from other sides, the national accusers. It's now time for you to hear those that are being accused. No one is reporting their side of the story. Now you can hear the other side right here each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning. Members of the Word of Faith speak out and tell their side of the story. It's an ongoing series paid for by Word of Faith. The views expressed on the program are not necessarily the views of the management staff, but it's interesting and worth listening to. That's 8:30 this morning, right here live on 100.9 FM and 590 AM. And we hope you're enjoying our new format of music here on WCAB 100.9 FM and 590 AM. We're going back into the oldies, classic oldies, and days of the malt shop music, sock hop music, and days to reminisce and dream about. We've had a lot of favorable comments from many of you telling us how much you enjoy the music, so we're proud to hear that, and we'll hear from others of it. We've had a couple of disgruntled folks call, say, "Where's the old country? Don't like that stuff you're playing, like the old country." Well, it was time to make a change, and so we made that change, decided months ago to do that, and we're happy to get some positive feedback. And we're encouraging you to pick up one of our news journals, our Foothills Journal. They're out and about. They're in the mail, and some of them we have located in various locations around. So if you didn't get one in the mail, please try to find one. Come by here and pick it up. There are 3 coupons in there. One from the open box. You get a discounted open box. Also from the Sweet Frog yogurt discount in there. A coupon for that. And the factory store over here in the mall at the shopping center. Get a discount over there. So look through that and enjoy the fun and the humor, and keep some of those schedules clipped out so you know who's on when, who's on first, who's on second, and what the football schedule is as well. It's a fun entertainment. You'll find a lot of his nostalgia there. So pick one up. If you don't have one, come by here. We'll give you one or two or three. Sports Update is next.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. The Steelers last night, they beat the Panthers in the preseason finale, 39-24 at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Now that the exhibition schedule is complete, the real preparation begins for the games that count. Ron Rivera is looking forward to that.
I feel good about some of the things that we've done. You know, I thought for the first three games when our first groups got some opportunities, they did some really good things, but you never really know. And so once we start playing, you know, next week, we'll have a better feel for who we are and who we can be. I mean, I like the fact that we opened up at home. I like the fact that we opened up against Dallas. It's a good challenge for us to see exactly where we are as a team.
And the hard work right now for the team, specifically the coaches, is to make personnel decisions. The NFL deadline to get the roster trimmed to 53 is tomorrow afternoon. Wake Forest freshman Sam Hartman was picked off twice during his collegiate debut last night, but he was otherwise impressive. He passed for 378 yards and 2 scores, while Cade Carney powered in a short running touchdown in overtime as the Demon Deacons defeated Tulane on the road 23-17. Carney, afterward, talked about crossing the goal line in the extra session.
The suspense was unreal when they didn't give us the call. I thought it was very clear, so I was worried a little bit there. I already started celebrating, but such a sigh of relief. We came down here and had a dog fight. I think we learned a lot about the team, and we had some guys step up, and we know that we have a lot to get better at. But we came out here, we got across the plane, we needed to, and we can get out of here now with a win.
It'll be Friday Night Lights College Edition when Duke opens tonight versus Army West Point in Durham. The Blue Devils have won their last 6 season openers, and they're 8-2 overall in Game 1s under David Cutcliffe. Kickoff tonight at 7. Other games around the state this weekend. UNC is at Cal. NC State hosts James Madison. ECU is at home against North Carolina A&T, and Elon is at South Florida, while App State will open their season on the road in their first ever meeting with Penn State. This is NCN Sports.
North Carolina peanut farmers invite you to the 25th Annual Mountain State Fair. Come celebrate the agricultural and cultural traditions of North Carolina. One of those traditions is enjoying the fair with a bag of peanuts. So come to the Mountain State Fair, September 7th through the 16th. Ride the rides, see the animals, listen to the gospel singing, and watch clogging competition. You can do this all while enjoying some delicious, nutritious, and cholesterol-free peanuts. See you at the fair.
Carolina Hurricanes single game tickets are on sale now. Take warning as the Canes host the New York Islanders at PNC Arena to kick off the 2018-2019 season on Thursday, October 4th. Full season, 22-game and 11-game flex plans also are available, offering tickets starting as low as $16 per game. For more information and to secure your seats for opening night, visit CarolinaHurricanes.com/tickets. Canes, Islanders, October 4th. Be there.
Make it 18 for 18 for Roger Federer in the second round of the U.S. Open. The 2-seed beat Benoit Paire to continue his streak of reaching the third round in the tournament. He's won 5 times. Novak Djokovic wasted a match point in the third set before going on to win and take out Tenny Sangren. Number 2 seed in the women's draw, Caroline Wozniacki, is out in the second round. She lost in 2 sets to number 36, Lesa Trysenko of the Ukraine. It's Williams versus Williams, part 30 today. Serena and Venus Williams will meet tonight in the third round of the U.S. Open at New York's Arthur Ashe Stadium. It'll be the earliest Grand Slam matchup since their initial professional debut against each other 20 years ago. Also playing today in the round of 32, 11th-ranked John Isner, the Greensboro native, will go up against Dusan Lajovic. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Later this afternoon, along with our heat and humidity, we'll be watching out for a few widely scattered showers and storms. The high temperature later on, upper 80s to low 90s. That'll come along with partly cloudy skies. Now, area high school football games, there may be a few showers and storms about the area during game time. Partly cloudy, the low in the low 70s. Tomorrow is partly cloudy. It's hot. It's humid. A chance for a few showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon and early evening. Our high temperature in the upper 80s to about 90 degrees. I'm Mike Hayes in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
It's 69 right now in sunny skies. The sun is actually peeking out there. We started out at partly cloudy skies. It should be a pretty nice day all the way through the weekend. A little rain coming back and forth, 40% chance of rain on Saturday and Sunday, but perhaps it'll hold off for the afternoon. Let me remind you of this. The Rutherford County landfill and all convenience centers will be closed September 3rd and will reopen September the 4th regular time. They'll be closed for Labor Day. Remember that, landfill and all convenience centers. This is WCAB Rutherfordton. Welcome to the Word of Faith Responds. This series of programs will address the issues concerning the negative news reports. This program is paid for by Word of Faith, and the views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the management and staff of WCAB. Now here is Word of Faith Responds.
Good morning and welcome again to Word of Faith Responds. This is Mark Morris with Word of Faith Fellowship. Thank you again for joining us. We have been sharing with you so many wonderful things that God has done in our lives at the Word of Faith Fellowship. We've been doing this program now for going on 9 months. We started it in December, and it's amazing to us that we've kept going, but there's so much to share with you about what God has done in our lives. And one of the things that we have done is share testimonies about how God has transformed our lives. And if you want to hear some of our past radio programs, you can actually go to our church website, which is wordoffaithfellowship.org. That's wordoffaithfellowship.org. You'll see a radio program link, and all our radio programs are videoed, so you can actually watch us. And I believe you would be encouraged. We have identified the programs. Many people in our church have been delivered from so many areas, from drugs, alcohol, substance abuse, depression. It goes on and on and on. But through it all, God delivers us. It's amazing how God is a God that can redeem and restore our life. No matter what pit we've ended up in, God is able to restore us and redeem us and bring us to the life that He's called us to have. So today I have someone from our church who also wants to share with you. Her name is Kavija. God has truly restored and redeemed her life, and I believe you'll be amazed at how much God was able to pull her out of a terrible situation and restore her life to a wonderful life. So we're going to hear from Kavija. Go ahead, Kavija.
I want to start off by saying I'm so grateful and so excited to be able to share what God has done for me. So when I was born in West Philadelphia, I have 2 brothers, I have 2 sisters. When I was 6, my mom, she's from a little area close to Wilmington called Burgall, we moved. She brought us back down south. She met my father in Philadelphia. When we moved down here, I was a grade ahead of myself in school. I was in the 2nd grade. I was picked on a little in elementary school because I was a little bit different coming from up north. I remember just some of the phrases I used, some of the terms I used just wasn't what the children used around here. As you know, I went on through elementary school. I remember in the 5th grade, I think I got in my first fight. Of course, being picked on, it builds up the anger and the frustration. You can never do anything to be accepted kind of thing. And but in the 5th grade, I remember more specific situations because there was a little boy. Looking back at it now, I think this is so ridiculous because I was in the 5th grade. These are situations 5th graders should never have to encounter, but I'm afraid it probably happens often. But there was a boy that I liked, and he liked me. Then come to find out he had a girlfriend, and so I didn't want to like him anymore. Well, he was kind of popular, and he got everybody to start picking on me. So that was a very rough time, and it was a hard wave of picking on because it was like when I came around, everybody went away. And, you know, as children, it's, I guess, impressionable. And so things at home weren't really great. My mom and my dad, they were like in and out of their relationship. And when my dad was there, he did spend time with me, but he wasn't, sad to say, he wasn't there a lot. There was abuse in our home. But also being a child, it's like you kind of know something's wrong, but that's all you've ever known. So you just think that's life. I was pretty sad, pretty heartbroken, always felt lonely. So anyway, I remember getting in my first fight when I was in probably about the 5th grade. And then I went on, 6th grade and 7th and 8th grade. Things just got worse in my life as far as being sad and feeling left out, being that I was a grade ahead of myself in elementary school. I was always big for my size. I was 10 years old. I wore size 10 shoes. So I was always pretty big for my size. So I often got called names about that, doofy and big, and and I was not very graceful. So those things just make you feel so bad about yourself. When I got in middle school, I did get in a couple more fights, and when I got in the 9th grade, I was 13. There came another situation with a guy, I guess you could say. That was another devastating time in my life because I was a freshman at 13, and then he was a senior. I guess backing up a little bit, we went to church some. We didn't go to church a whole lot. When I got older, I learned that the reason why we had seasons of going to church is because we didn't have a lot. We were kind of poor. So if we had clothes to go, my mom would take us. But if we didn't have the appropriate clothes, she didn't take us to church. But my dad would get up on Sunday mornings and make us watch a show on like a TV church program called Herbert W. Armstrong. So anyway, I guess we were in a season where we were going to church. I was in the 9th grade, and there was a guy that was a senior that I liked. But it was all out of the lust of the flesh. It was not, and he had a mutual interest in me. But being I was a freshman, I did not know that he already, here again, had a girlfriend. And so and he went to the church that we were going to. So I went to choir practice. My mom let him bring me home, and then things happened, and his girlfriend found out. She was in the 10th grade. Her sister was a senior also. Her sister began picking on me really bad about this, and me being a freshman, you feel like you have to establish yourself. You're at a new school, and so in order not to go through this whole 4 years and people think I'm just somebody to mess with and pick on and I'm just this or that, I became very aggressive and I assaulted her. It was a pretty violent act. I ended up going to the detention center after that, which is, if you don't know, a detention center is like, because I was 13, you can't go to take a 13-year-old to jail, so I went to the detention center, which is for juveniles. And while I was there, I feel like I'm going back and forth, but when we moved down south from up north, we moved on a dirt road next to my grandmother. So my mom she really had us under tight restraints. We were not, I was not exposed to very much. I mean, the most I ever got exposed to was on television. So when I got to the detention center, it was like a whole world was opened up to me. I heard things, I saw things that I never dreamed of or knew of even existed. And there again, I have another blow even while I'm there as far as my distrust for people, my distrust especially for men and boys, because there was a staff member there that came after me. I had never smoked marijuana. I had drank a little bit, but it was always just a little, and it was sneakily. But there was a staff there that came after me. He actually brought me marijuana. He brought me beer, brought me cigarettes, and I actually got drunk in the detention center. First time I'd ever been exposed to anything or experienced anything like that. I was there for several months, and when, until court, and then I ended up going to a maximum security training school. And so the name of the school was C.A. Dillon. At that time, it was a co-ed training school. I think it was the only maximum security training school in North Carolina. So, and I'll just describe it to you a little bit. It was a building, and it had a barbed wire fence around it. There were 3 different cottages. One cottage was for girls. The other 2 cottages were for the boys. The cottage was locked. Each cottage had 3 wings. Each wing was locked. They each had living rooms. Each living room was locked. Then you go down to a hallway that was also locked with cells, individual rooms that were also locked. So that was where I was for the next 3.5 years. And there again, I got a whole nother, I guess, education about street life and different things of that sort. When I got there, I had already a reputation when I got there. I don't know how, but some of the girls knew what I was there for. And so that was not my heart. That was not really the kind of person I was. Honestly, I was really full of fear, very afraid, far away from my mom. And so, but I still played the part, and I did things when I got there that I was ashamed of. That it wasn't right. It was mean things, but it was just to fit in with the girls that were there. But even at that, because of the seriousness of what I was there for, I was told that I could end up in a women's penitentiary if I did not do well there. C.A. Dillon was kind of like I guess you could say a last stop for juveniles. A lot of the girls there had already been in the other training schools and had failed there, and so this was like their last stop. So I was pretty, I didn't do some things, that was a restraint, I guess you could say, for me. I was a lookout person for other things that would happen. And then when I was probably about 16, excuse me, we had a church service. Now, different churches would come out and they would provide church services for us. And we didn't a lot of times have enough staff members working there to let these girls stay out in their room or in the living room, and then these girls go down to Vespers, is what we called it, or the church service. So there were times when we'd have to get locked in our rooms so the other girls could go to the church service. For some reason this time I just thought, I'm going to go to Vespers, versus being locked in my room. So I went down to Vespers. I can't really remember what was preached, but for some reason at the end of the service, I stood up. At the end of the service was the altar call, and I stood up and said the sinner's prayer and, accepted God in my heart is what I felt at that time. And when I got back to the cottage, I remember this seriousness came on me, like, what have you done? You cannot play with God. This is very serious what you did. And I thought a minute. And so the only thing I knew to do was to read the Bible, get my Bible. And I don't remember if it was my Bible, if it was a Gideon Bible that was there. I just don't remember. But I got the Bible. Only thing I knew to read was Psalms 27. Well, no, the 23rd Psalm is all I knew to read. So I read that. And then I flipped over to the 27th Psalm, and at the end of that Psalm, it said, "Wait on the Lord, be of good courage, he will strengthen your heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord." And it was like I knew that was the first time God had ever spoken to me, that I was aware and conscious that that is the voice of God coming to me. Because prior to that, the years that I had been in the facility, I started feeling like there wasn't a God. If there was a God, why am I still here? And just backing up a little bit, because I was always told while I was there, if you do this, if you do that, you can go home. If you do this, you can go home. And I jumped through all the hoops. I did everything possibly. I even broke records in that facility as far as getting different levels and getting so many points. And but I was still there. And what I didn't realize at the time is that some of the girls were horrible, and they still got to go home, but there was only a certain amount of time they could be there for what they had done, whether they did good or bad. So God was telling me, just wait on him. He was going to strengthen me, because it was tough. It was rough. Some of the staff were not even nice. But then on the other hand, after I purposed I was going to start serving God, it opened up a whole nother world of people picking on me, which was a big thing. I did not like being talked about and people picking on me. But for some reason, it didn't faze me like it had when I was in elementary school coming up. It just did not have the punch. And I mean, these girls could call you some names that you thought it was unbelievable, the things that they began to call me after I started giving my heart to God. But it didn't faze me. I didn't want to fight them. I started reading my Bible. I started believing what the Bible said, that if they persecuted Jesus, of course they're not going to like me because I'm walking with Jesus. And these are things I thought at that time in my life, and it didn't faze me. Because I had so many points and I was actually had reached level 5, I was able to go down in my room and be away from that a lot. But then something miraculous happened in a cottage. It's the cottage I was in. A lot of girls started giving their hearts to God, and it was pretty amazing. And not only that, some of the staff members that were so crude, they started giving their hearts to God too, and it was utterly amazing. And so I had people that I could go to if I had questions about the Bible or anything. It was pretty amazing because the staff members started changing. So when I was about 17, probably 17 and a half is when I was released and able to come home. When I came home, my mom had started going to a church in Wilmington, and I started going to that church with her. Well, when I went, the pastor was preaching things that it was like she was reading my mail, like unbelievable. It was just speaking directly to my heart, the things that she ministered on. There was also a time when they had prayer at this church that I was at, and which is causing me to have to back up one more time. While I was in training school, I had these times after I gave my heart to God that I would lay on my face, my face in my pillow, and I would just groan, or just, I can't really describe the hurt or the pain I had on the inside of me. And that really relieved me, and I knew from reading my Bible about Romans 8, I didn't think I was crazy for what I was doing. I felt like it was a type of prayer, because Romans 8 talked about the groanings that were too deep for utterance. I had such a pain, I had such a pit, I didn't have words to even pray to say what I felt or what was going on. But I knew when I did that, I felt relief on the inside. So when we went to this church, I heard a lady praying just like that, and I was pretty shocked. So it was like the first confirmation that was my church was the preaching. It was undeniable. And then when I heard that lady, I thought, it all bore witness. I knew this was my church where I was supposed to be. Probably the year after that, I went to a seminar. This church was affiliated with the Word of Faith. So the next year, me, the pastor, and a couple of the young people came to a youth seminar here at the Word of Faith. And I felt such love just walking in the building, not hearing a message, seeing the smiles on people's faces. I felt the love of God. It was just unbelievable. I was just so excited. I heard people praying with their whole hearts. And, I went home after that seminar a changed person. I received prayer at that seminar, and I was and somewhere in my heart I knew eventually I was going to live here. I loved it. I went home, and of course there was things, because the way I had lived all the way up until that time in my life was, if I was angry, I would punch a wall, I would do whatever. But as time went on, these things, they started leaving me. And, one thing I'm very grateful for, the knowledge and learning at the Word of Faith, is that demons are real. They are actual forces that can oppress you and weigh you down and hold you down. They actually can speak to you. And because I was always so depressed and so miserable on the inside, there were times I would think about killing myself. I literally thought I was a crazy woman. And this is after I had given my heart to God. But when I learned that it was a spiritual battle, my life changed. I was actually excited to know that, okay, so this is not the way I am. These are demons, and it can change, that would oppress and just make you feel these ways. So I continued to get prayer. My life continued to change, and then God started also teaching me about my will, because there's scriptures that talk about whoever you yield to is who you become a slave to. And I had certainly become a slave to some of these fits of rage and anger. And so by the grace of God and by the help of God, He started walking me out of these things where I could go to Him if I felt a fit of rage, or I could go to Him and ask Him to help me. And He began to remove these things out of my life till, I don't feel that way anymore. And it's a miracle. It's such a miracle. I don't feel angry. I don't feel the frustration. Jesus has become so real in my life, as far as He's actually there for me. I can go to Him and He will help me with whatever is going on in my life. I was very hurt. Didn't like, this was something I said all the time. I don't like people, and I don't like men even more. So for me, I just was done with everybody, basically. So when I came here, God spoke to my mom and I probably in 2008 to move here. And so after we moved here, shortly after that, God put a man in my life. And his name is Willie. He is such a blessing. He's such a blessing. When God put us together, he was going through some things. And then shortly after that, I was going through some things as far as my health. And he was there for me. And I realized that all men were not dogs, that there are godly men, and he blessed me with one. And in 2013, he and I got married. And he's been such a blessing, and I'm very grateful to God for him. Our children, he had children by a previous marriage. I'm grateful for the children that he and I have, they are my children. I have a grandson now. I'm very grateful for that. And when we moved here in 2008, God blessed me with a wonderful job. I have the best co-workers. I'm grateful for them. They will do anything they can for you. I felt like I never could have friends. People never liked me, never wanted to be around me. So I feel accepted at my job. I love my church family. I love Sam and Jane. I love Kim Waits. I love the people that God put in my life here. There is not a group of people like them. And I'm just so grateful. I have been helped tremendously at the Word of Faith. Yes, God worked miracles in my life prior to moving here, but it has been undeniable, the changes that have happened in me, and the friends and the comfort and the support that I have received since I've been here is just, you wouldn't find it anywhere. So I'm very grateful to God. And
thank you so much, Kavija. You're a miracle. When you were sharing this, I can't help but think what a nice person you are. You're always so full of love. You're always so happy. And I'm just thinking what a transformation God did in your life. We would never know about your past because God has so changed you. And I was shocked when I heard all the things that you went through growing up, all of the hurt, and then all of the anger, and then all of the rage, and then you had some violence, and it was like I was talking about somebody else because that doesn't fit you at all, because you truly have let God change your heart, and you're becoming exactly who God wants you to be, and what a miracle that is. This is just one of those, another example of how God has the power to restore our lives. I love to read in the Bible about how God is a redeemer. Jesus is described as a redeemer. He came to redeem mankind. And so many times we were all slaves to something in our lives. And when Jesus came, he paid the price for us so that we can be redeemed. He was our Redeemer. He paid the ransom with his blood. And so whatever pit we were in, whatever mess we were in, however our lives were going down the wrong path, and our personalities were all wrong, full of hurt, full of anger, and all of these things that we did that were wrong, it actually says that Jesus Christ himself paid the price for us with his blood so that we can be redeemed. And that means that we're restored. That means that we're actually loosened from all of the slavery that we were in before. He redeemed us to be the children of God who we're called to be, and he restores our life when he does that. So what a powerful message, what an encouraging message. When you were there in the juvenile detention center and you didn't know what to do, you turned your heart to God. God spoke to you in Psalms 27 about be strong, wait on the Lord. And that's a powerful word for all of us today. So thank you again for listening. This is Word of Faith, and we've been sharing with you what wonderful things God's done in our lives. I hope that you will continue to listen to our program. We are here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8:30 to 9. Thank you very much.
Over a half-century of family-friendly broadcasting. This is WCAB AM 590 and the new 100.9 FM.
Broadcasting live from beautiful downtown Whiteside Road to the foothills of the Carolinas. This is the mighty 590 WCAB Rutherfordton.